All right, we might as well start. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well tonight. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. I just have to play around with the sound. I think that should be fine. All right, just gonna move that a little bit closer. Let's jump straight into it. So what are we doing tonight? We are refactoring. Ooh, that's a bit too thick. User permissions. All right. So I had a bit of thought about this over the week and so forth like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. So if I minimize everything, if we go to NearBeach, we go to NearBeach, and then we go to our decorators, we've got the check user permissions like in here and so forth like that. I mean, that's perfectly fine. But we want to structure this correctly. So, sorry, that was Socks deciding to stand on something on my mouse. Okay, give me 2 seconds. All right, so what we want to do is we want to create... I did not want to do that. What we want to do is create a folder called user permissions. And then under that folder, we also want to create a partials, where we place all the partials. So for example, tasks will have certain patterns compared to projects and so forth like that. So as these are different, these will be in their own sort of partial thing. Much like what we're currently doing, but we're splitting these up into multiple files instead of having it all in one file. Another thing we're going to be doing is under the user permissions, I think we'll have generic user permissions, which will take a destination and a location ID. And then what we'll have is a specific object. Which will pass through the destination. The likelihood of that containing a location ID is very limited. I think that's how we're going to name them. But I'm not sold, so we might change that. We might discuss that as we're doing it. So, first things first is I am going to move Socks out of my way. There it goes, sweetie. She can go on the camera. No, you don't want to be on camera? Okay. So we'll jump into here with our decorators. We're going to right-hand click. We're going to create a new folder and we're going to call it user permissions. Or check user permissions. And what we're going to do is all of these files, we're just going to shove into there for the moment. Yeah. All right, cool. And then under here, what we're going to do is we're going to have partials. And everything, a single one's going to have a little partial and stuff like that. We need our init.py file. And everyone's happy. So I want to split this up. But first, let's get the naming convention down correctly. And we need a little bit of research with this. So let's open up our source. Now, we had an Excel document somewhere in here. And I forgot where exactly. And Socks says, once again, there it is. Attacking. Discard. Yes. Yeah. Okay, this is form data. What we want is the URLs. And now we'll need all methods. So I'm just unfiltering. And what we've got here is we've got a bunch of data, which is great. So argument counts zeros. So we've got examples on the right, which is great. And we've got the URLs on the left, which is also great. So admin user add, admin update user password, card information, and so forth like that. So we'll have a look at this and go probably quickly have a look at this and be like, all right, which ones will we be using for what? So for the admin ones, we'll be probably using a specific object, which will look at the object itself. So yeah, socks. Yeah, stop pacing. You've been fine all day. Come here. Come here. Yes, cuddles. The change task information, that's the change task ID. Ooh. Okay. So I'm going to write down these patterns and so forth like that. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to have this here. Let's have our Excel draw there. And let's start a new canvas. Let's do this. So we've got patterns. All right. So we've got one with no data. So we've got no dest or location ID. We've got one with just destination ID. So I'm making that card ID destination ID. I might put child object. All right. Might be a case with these admin ones. Yeah, all right. Oops. Just wait, where's this? Add min illustration. Okay. Change task information. All right, cool. We've got those particular ones. Yep, still. Okay. Just dest ID cust/org. So yeah, they'll need a different sort of permission set in there. Dashboard. We only need to make sure the user's logged in for that one, so we're ignoring those particular cases. And now we've got objects. Okay. Document object destination. Sorry, document key. No, location, destination location. Document dest plus location ID. And then we've got group info, group ID. Actually, just wait. I don't think... I hate how that doesn't... Come on. Thank you. I don't need to click you 10 times. Alright, I don't think group information... Oh, that would be an admin task. So, admin task object ID. Okay. Then we've got that. When we've got the Kanban, for example, a column. So I'm going to say that will be the child object, just destination ID with the child object. So we've got that pattern already. Same with that one. Then we've got that one, which is we'll have to figure that one out. All right, so we've got the Kanban information. So we've got object. With destination plus location ID. So we've got the object with just destination. All right, we're happy with that. Logout, we're happy with. Permission set, we're happy with. That's admin. Private, that's the documentation sort of stuff. That will probably have its own. Actually, the documentation stuff has its own inbuilt permission sets. Now we've got the new object. So new object, which has no data. And then we've got the object data, which we're happy with. Once again, we've got the objects with the ID. Objects with ID. Search won't have permissions on it, apart from certain permissions at the administration level, and so forth like that, which we covered by the admin task object ID. So I'm going to say admin task, no data. I think that's the permutations of what we've got. So we've got no destination or location administration. Oh, wait. All right. That one's covered. All right, no destination and stuff like that. Let's order this so it looks nice. So one thing I want to do, so let's just rewrite it over here. I'm sorry, the chat's going to cover it up. So we've got admin, no data, admin, and then object, location ID. All right, so we've just done that one. Don't think there's any other admin sort of things. Then we've got child object. and just destination ID. So location ID. I wrote that down wrong, sorry. Location ID. So child object, cust/org location ID. Now the documentation, that should in itself have its own sort of things, but we'll write it in here anyway. So doc dest plus location ID. And then we've got our usual object. We've got dest and location ID. Then we've got our object. Now I've just put dest in there, so if we scroll down, those are the IDs. Because yeah, with the object, it's including both. I think I just wrote this down wrong. So location ID. All right, and then new object, no data. Ooh. And thank you very much, Ernie DV. How are you? Do you mind taking a minute to help me with a quick question? Depends on the question. I tend not to answer like people's homework on here. But feel free to ask. So this is going to be the permission structure. All right, cool. So we'll have admin tasks with data and without data in there with the location ID. So we'll probably have to have two functionalities for that, or methods, however you want to call that. With the child objects, that's going to be difficult in the sense that we're going to have to get to the parent object. I think we're going to have partials for all of those, in which case that might be something we've got to figure out tonight. The customer and organization, I think that will be its own permission set. That should be pretty easy to do. So I'm taking a course and wondering why I'm taking a course and I was wondering why the added both a method and separated setter when it seems they could just put them together. Just wondering why and a separate setter. Are we talking Vuex here? So let me just JavaScript. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to minimize everything. Open up this. I'm going to open up source. I'm going to open up this. I'm going to open up this. I think it's in here. I've got a I've got a Discord. Why they added both a method and a separate setter. Okay, cool. I'm assuming very similar to this. What I've actually got is I've got mutators and then I've got actions. And the reason why I've got actions down here is because I've got business logic running down here, which is a lot more than just setting a variable. Now, what actually happens is this will eventually call the setters, so the mutations up here eventually, and I'm assuming, I can't find an open channel. You'll need to go through the process of agreeing Both the method and setters seem to serve the same purpose. All right, so the idea is, I'm assuming with their methods, or the setters, not the setters, sorry, the methods, so my actions, is where they're doing the business logic, which is a bit more complicated than just setting a variable. And once they're ready to set the variables, they send it off to the mutations, so the setters. That is my guess at the moment, without having a look at the code. And the idea being is that the mutations, or the setters in this sort of case, are meant to be very slimline and very small. Whereas all the business logic will end up in the actions or the methods. Oops, socks. Careful. Sorry, my cat likes to jump on my keyboard. Give me 2 seconds. Which channel did you post it in? Oh, help. Oh. All right, give me 2 seconds. So the last two you're saying. Yeah, all right, cool. So I'm going to try and replicate this. I'm just going to do the last two. So I'm just going to... Okay, so they've got it. Oh, sorry. Getting used to these keys. So they've got is checkout. And they've got a value. All right, cool. And they're doing the usual, this dot is checkout equals value. And then there's another one which they've got toggle checkout status. So at the moment what they've got is this dot is checkout. Is checked out. So not equal value. All right. The last one doesn't have an argument. Yes, you are correct. So that's just triggered. All right. So up here, we've got the setters. Down here, we've got the methods or actions. Mutators. So these second ones, don't worry about that. That's just how I know them. Replace the one with it. Yeah. Yep. All right. No, I've made a mistake there. So I'm so used to typing that out that, yeah, I thought it was that, but yeah, we're flipping this here, which should be, yeah, this checked out. Yeah, you're correct. This dot is checkout. All right, cool. So down here, what's actually happening is the business logic. All right, and up here is where we're just mutating data. So, in reality, we should only be mutating data up here. That's it. Down here, business logic. So we can actually add a bit of business logic to this. At the moment, the business logic is pretty simple. We're just flipping this. But you might have a case of a validation. So you might have a validation step. I can't spell. So this might be, let's say, var validation equals, and then there might be a method to get current validation, like so. All right. And then if the validation is not true, you might actually have a console log, please validate. And then you have a simple return, so it does nothing else. And then once it passes the validation, then you will check out. So that's why this is structured like this, is because you will have a sort of thing where you've got a business logic, like this simple validation step, that can go before actually applying the mutation. And the reason why we don't actually include it up here with the mutators and stuff like that is just to make it look, the mutators look a lot nicer. Then what's the setter for? So the setter is actually for setting it. So yeah, this is one of those patterns which, yeah, I understand. At first you're like, but why is all this like this? Why can't we set in here and so forth like that? There could be cases where you're setting more than one item, in which case I do actually have an example of that. We have a look up here. So with this, I'm actually setting more than one item. So it passes through an object and a payload, and it goes through that payload and actually sets those items. So yeah, otherwise you do have cases where you're just setting just that one specific item. So forth like that. So yeah, it's designed to extract the business logic out from the mutation. It's something I've learned. I don't know the pros and benefits of any other sort of method because I just haven't learned that. Mainly because I've been using VueJS, which uses that sort of thing. So, but it's called mutations and actions. So, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. So, yeah. Alright, better get rid of arg. Okay, cool. But yeah, there's a bunch of different other ways of doing stuff. This is just one way I know. And sadly, the only way. I don't even know what it's called. So, it's terrible, I know. All I know is VueJS uses it, which is our state management system, our state management sort of stuff. So yeah, they got state getters, mutations, actions, and modules. So yeah. Oops, sucks. You okay? All right. Getting back to this. So our permission structure is set up like this. So the admin, we've got data and no data. Which, so I reckon we'll need two methods here. The child object. We got to figure out if this will go into the object down here. And it might be a case of this could be generic. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was meant to actually write object location ID. I think we could get away with using that. This, two methods. Okay, these, actually those, we'll have two methods. The docs. So the document one should be just read-onlys and stuff like that. So if we actually scroll up to the documentation stuff. So the document get max upload, everyone has access to that. The document destination location ID, that's just going to be the object des plus location ID. All right, and then the new object no data, that's going to be one method. All right, cool. So we want to split everything up. I'm going to minimize all of this. I'm going to close all of this. I have a very needy cat, so I'm terribly sorry if you're just hearing little pitter-patters of her head rubbing up against the microphone. Hopefully I don't go into static mode. So, yeah. We have in here decorators, we've got check user permissions. All right, so these particular files will eventually become their own, and they'll be migrated into other files and so forth like that. And then we've got the partials. So for the moment, what we want to do is we want to create admin. So admin permissions.py. We'll definitely add that. I am going to move this out of the way now. So we've got admin, we'll have the admin with no data and the admin with location ID. Socks, are you okay? Yes. All right, come here. Yes, cuddles, forced. All right. So we need the child object, which we're saying is going to be the object. So what I want to do is I want to create an object permission py. Okay, so I'm just going to slowly tick basic sort of thing. Customer and organization. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one for both. Customer permissions.py. Sorry, I thought I heard a door slam. Organization permissions.py. That'll be destination location ID, which we've got. So the object one we've got, and then the new object will be under those, which will be fine. All right. So what I want to do is I want to bring up check user permissions. I'm putting it over there for the moment. I am going to minimize that. And we're scrolling up to the top. We will need, so for this one, from Django, in fact, I'm just going to yank those four. And then from NearBeach.models, we're going to import just this is organization. We just need organization. All right. I'm going to ignore everything from here until we get to the organization ones in here. So I am actually going to there we go. So I'm going to cut this out and I'm just going to paste it over here. So we've got check user organization permissions. Okay, that's a great name. All right, going to keep that. We've got the minimum permission level, which is they've got to pass this to get in here. We've also got the object organization in here. So let's have a look how many times that appears. It doesn't appear many times. So we could use a partial. Or we can programmatically put this back in. And I'm going to lean on the programmatically placing that back in. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to delete that. So default user level is 0. So we need user group in here, but that's perfectly fine. We can get that very shortly. So user group, object filter, delete is none. Get the max permission from the user level equals user group results. Perfect. All right. Now we don't need this over here anymore. So we're deleting the code. Perfect. All right. So we need user group. User group. And we're happy. Now this is okay, yep. I know why. And I'm gonna I'm just deleting him. Where's delete? There we go. All right. Now we need to get rid of stuff we're not using. So we're using max, but we're not using queue. We're not using organization. All right, cool. And then what I want to do is I want to get rid of that. So this function is only used when checking user permissions against organizations. All right, we don't need to specify that they're different. We just need to specify what we're doing. Min permission level determines if the user will have enough permission to proceed. All right, sweet, cool. All right, I'm happy with that one. Let's do customer permissions. Let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paste those in. Let's go customer. Let's cut this out. And let's just paste this in. All right, cool. Now object customer, we need to search for over here. Object customer. It's only used once, so we are going to just cut out what we need. Easy done. We don't have that, so we can get rid of that. Yeah, because there's always going to be that. All right, cool. Function is only used when checking against user permissions. Against customers. Min permission level determines the user permission and if they can progress. Easy done. All right. So we're happy with that one. And let's open up this stupid thing. All right, so the admin permissions, we're saying it's got 2 methods. So, and this is at the knowledge of my Python knowledge stuff. So we're gonna look this up. So I don't know if I can have the same. Oh, no, I better not have the same name. Okay. So if we were to name this, check user admin permissions. Check user admin permissions. We can have with location and check user admin permissions. No location. I think that will work with location ID. I should point out. I think, yeah. Alright, I should delete that. Shouldn't have closed those other ones. I'll open up one of them. So what we want, def check user admin permissions. And then what we'll have is the min permission level, like we usually do. And then we'll figure stuff out. So if we go return true at the moment, that should work. All right. Check change task, check user admin permissions. Oh, there we go, we named it. And then we've got permission lookup. So that might be the location look, so the destination lookup. Or permission lookup. Oh, that's a good sort of call. This is where we go back to our this. So what we'll have is we'll have new user, which won't have a thing, but we need to pass through some extra information. So yeah, we'll need the permission lookup. Oh. And what we'll do is we'll actually cut this one out. Paste it in. We'll remove this. And then we've got check user permission, permission lookup. So, yeah. Yes, socks. Function is, piss off. Function is only used in the administration views. It is designed to make sure that the user either is an admin or has some administration permissions associated with them. Permission lookup, we'll have to, socks, will you stop it, please? Alright. Yeah, she's not allowed to walk on the keyboard. So we need permission object up here. So permission set. I'm just wondering what this is going to be. We might have to limit it. All right, so permission lookup is the field we are looking up in the permission set table. It's that simple. All right. Now, the one with the IDs, is that actually needed? So if we go up here, add user, so forth like that, Let's go permission set. New permission set. Can't find permission set. But we've got user information, so forth like that. I think having the location ID doesn't matter. So we're going to cross this one out and just say one method. All right, we're happy with it being one method. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that one's done, that one's done. Let's actually clean up some of my marks and stuff like that so it's less confusing. Let's mark what else I've done. Customer and organization, that's done. Documentation, we haven't done. We haven't done any of that, yeah. So, child objects. Let's have a look at the URLs. So change task will be a child object. So what will actually happen is we'll go into a normal one. There'll be, we'll have the ID pass through, but not the destination. All right, yep. And then what we do is with those particular ones, we'll be like, okay, this is a change task. At the back end, we'll handle all of that. So we pass through a variable. With the normal ones, same with that, we'll be passing through Kanban board. All right, sweet. So much like if we have a look in this file. All right. Hey, Nocturnal, how are you tonight? Hopefully you're going well, or well, your morning, I should say. Welcome, welcome. All right, we're just refactoring the user permissions, making them a lot easier. Because, yeah, that one file got messy. So we're now exclude that one little file there. We're now breaking them down into their own files, admin permissions, customer permissions, object permissions, and organization permissions. So hopefully with object permissions, I only have two functions in there. One that will accept the destination ID and another one with the permission override. So what I've got to do is now I've got either generic or specific objects. So if I'm saying generic, I want destination location to pass through. If I'm saying specific, I'm passing through that destination. You okay? Just woke up? Oh yeah, I woke up hours ago. But otherwise, I'm good. Yeah, glad the weekend's here. It's going to be a busy weekend for me. So, yeah. Okay. So child object. And then check user Kanban board permissions. Yeah, because I want all this to be generic. You're going to have a busy weekend too? Oh, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna paste that in there. And then what I'm gonna have, def check user generic permissions. All right, and from this, we have the min permission level. And we're just gonna check user permission denied. Oh, yep, that's a different one. That's a specific. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move that one in a minute. Actually, no, I'll move it now. Deny, permission denied. Gonna paste that in. Gonna do that. Gonna yank these 6 lines. I'm just gonna paste those in. We don't need much. Yeah, I think that's all we need. I don't even think we should have those in. And then it just needs a new line. All right, cool. Done. Sweet. So, and these internal functions will be partials. So check RFC permissions. Yeah, a lot of that will be just generic sort of stuff. Checks the, yeah, checks RFC object. Okay, cool. And what we'll do is, yeah, all right. So yeah, the rest is the same sort of structure. In fact, I think I can just copy that. Okay, cool. So, check users generic permission. Sorry, I just got to stretch. So, checks the user's generic permissions. It will gather both the destination and location ID from the args and quags. From here, it will determine which partial permission it should be checking against. Determining on the result from the partial will determine if the user is granted permission or denied. Sweet. All right, so we've got our decorator function in our args quags. If the user's admin grant permission, we don't need to check anything else. That is pretty much everything everywhere else. Then we get the gets passes. Now this is the line we got to change. Depending what the object is, depends what we hit. So for example, if we've got an RFC, it'll hit this. If we've got something else and so forth like that. So we've got to go through and be like, all right, cool. If it's any of these, we hit these particular functions. Now we might use a lookup to actually get those particular functions, be able to use those functions and pass through the variables. So what I've got to do is in here, do something like that. Now we actually have a check destinations where we've got every single destination programmed in here. So up here, we're going to just paste it in. Now, it's not going to be an object array. We're actually going to make it into a dictionary type of thing. So the idea is you key in what object it is, and it keys out the function that we need. Yeah, it's that simple. Now, if it does not pass, it'll raise permission denied, user level, and all that kind of stuff. So what we need to do is we need to get this sort of started. And we've done this before. And this is where I'm going to use the shell to sort of remind myself how I've done it before. And I'm going to bring over... duplicate that. Let's pop that out. Let's go this. Let's go in here. Let's go up here. Yep, cool. Let's bang that over there. Let's bang that over there. And let's shrink this like this. Cool. Python 3, manage shell. Alright, cool. So if we've got def a equals print hello a. Oops, sorry, that was meant to be like that. No, maybe? Yeah, alright. Ooh, I think it's just that. Alright, I'm just testing one thing. Alright, cool. Works perfectly fine. And then what we have is we've got the struct, so actually that's a keyword, s equals, and I think, oh, sorry, this is where knowing multiple languages, you always get confused. Alright, like that. Oh. A, B, B, C, and C. All right. All right, this is what we want. So what I'll do, create a dictionary. I key through the particular functions we need, and then we just call it like this, where we've got the string in there and the arguments afterwards. And I think that just works. Words. All right, so what we're going to call this is function dict. It's going to look like this, and we've got to set up all the partials. So we'll get onto that right now, because that's something we need to do first. So what we do is scroll to the top, change task permissions. Once again, I'll go through this and double check that this matches this sort of generic sort of thing. Check Kanban permissions, check user permissions. This one has object lookup. So yeah, this is what we'll be handling next. Because Because, yeah, we'll be using... Oh... Yeah, we'll figure this out. Check user item. Yeah. All right. Cool. Internal object. Check change task. All right. Cool. So first one straight off the bat. Partials will be called change task. We won't have the object out the front. And hey, the Bob that I know. How are you? The ad just started. I don't know if you're in ads or not. Terribly sorry. I'll wait till the ads are over to reset. Max. Yeah, calm down. No. Calm down. Yes. I don't know if you guys can hear Max. Now, the partials. Just because I don't want... And then again, change task down here is the views. Tell you what, we'll have change task permissions. .py. I think that's a good name. It's simple, everyone can understand it, and it's going to be... Oh, I hate that bug. I'm going to cut that out. We're going to paste it in. We're going to delete the first line. All right, welcome back. Anyway, thank you very much, Bob. The Bob that I know. Hi, welcome. Sorry, I just saw it as ads just started. So, yeah. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. So, import... Sorry, from NearBeach.models, import the user group. I don't know who that is. All right. We also need change task. Oh, are you coming down? No. All right, cool. And we need group. And object assignment. Alright. Ooh, we also need max. So that is from Django. I keep forgetting what it's from. Django DB models. Import max. Alright, easy. So we've got this partial and we need Q. We've got this partial. All done. Let's move to the next one. Okay, object generic. We're going to skip generic for the moment. Yeah, we'll come back. Kanban board. So Kanban board permissions. Straight off the bat, we're going to yank these lines. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out of here. We're going to then paste it in. And then we don't need change task. We need Kanban card. And we're fine. All right, sweet. That is done. All right, another thing we need to do. So requirement item permissions.py. Once again, we'll yank those couple of lines. And then we will cut these out. All right. Now, element OP QR. So requirement. Item. Yep. And requirement. All right. I'm happy with that. Then RFC, so request for change permissions.py. All right. There we go. All right, sweet. Cool. Now, that's one thing which I should change. I should update these method names. Like so. Just so we've got consistency. I like consistency. Okay, cool. Done. Alright, I'm hoping chat hasn't frozen. No one's spoken in a while, so I'm hoping it's not frozen again. Like it did the other week. Okay, so we've got all of that down pat. Now the problem is we don't have every single object in there, and I'm just wondering in specific cases what will happen. And it might be just one of those things where it's a generic, yeah, it's just the generic stuff. So yeah, we'll have a look and we'll figure it out. Just lurking over here and jumping between channels. Ah, fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago, chat froze, and then people were actually talking, but I wasn't getting anything, and I'm a little paranoid at the moment. Just being like, all right, is that happening again? Because I feel bad. Yeah, it's not fun when you're trying to do stuff and chat's actually there, and you seem like an ass not responding. So yeah. Now this is generic. So if I close this, close this, close this, close this, we've got all right, check users generic permissions. So in this sort of case, I am actually going to go object generic, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste. All right. And I've copied the wrong thing. Oh no, object generic. Object lookup. Ah. All right, this is where I think I'm confused myself a couple of weeks ago about this. All right, checks the user's generic permission and will gather both from the destination and location ID. All right. I think I've over generic this. Where we've also got an object lookup, which overrides that destination one. Yeah, alright, and then depending on the destination, depends on the function we use to look up user permissions, and then, yeah, that's the sort of thing that I gotta do here. Set object generic. If we go down here, use the group yada yada yada. If quarks greater than 0, group result. Quarks should be greater than 0 because we've got the object lookup passing through. Yeah, alright. Gonna paste this down here. And then I'm gonna grab this one. Like so. Alright. Then up here, we're going to have object, lookup, equals, and nothing at the moment. And then we need just 2 for that. We just need 2 for this. This will be an internal function. We need object assignment and group and queue. Queue. Object assignment. We don't need the permission set. Oh, and group. Alright. That should be working perfectly fine. This is where we start going through all our code and actually determining what we've done is correct or not, and then editing it in a manner which, yeah, shouldn't take us too long. Anyway, I'm just going to check that weird sort of phone thing that came through. Sorry, it's... Yeah. Weird. Oh no, it's coming up. All right. So what we're wanting to do is we're going to go through all of our code, find out, change all the permissions to the new set of permissions, determine where we're actually changing ones to be less of this generic one, and we're going to have one that's going to be called specific permissions. So yeah, because I feel like this object lookup might not be used in a few other places, but we'll figure out. We'll go through and we'll figure it all out. Oops, I didn't want to display that. Close annotations. Alright. Now, a lot of this is still relying on this code here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to comment out a lot of that code. So check change task permissions. Ooh, what's a specific one, isn't it? And that might be the case where we just extract that out and actually have a specific change task permissions. So, yeah. Anyway, we have broken enough, oops, of this. So let's go through and fix it. Okay, I'm going to close that. I'm going to keep those open for the moment. I'm going to minimize everything. I'm going to open up this. I'm going to open up NearBeach. I'm going to open up our views. And I know these are going to be broken. All right. So check user permissions, check admin permissions. Now we don't have that implemented anymore because this doesn't work. All right. From NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions admin permissions, check user admin permissions. Done. That should work now. And that hasn't changed. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just those items in there. So we've just moved that code out of that area. So it makes sense. All right, this is going to be the same one. From NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions, check admin permissions. Oh, check permissions denied. All right, cool. Easy done. Quick and easy fix. This is authentication, first time login. We don't need to worry about any of these with permissions because they're all read-only. They're the lowest sort of thing. All right, login required, card information. All right, that should actually be double quotes. So this is card information. We should be having a permission on this. So card information. Sorry, I'm writing this down. Has no permission. No permission checks. All right. So straight off the bat, bang, let's fix that issue up. So we don't have any. We'll get the card information and redirect to the correct Kanban board. If there's no card, return A404. Oh, all right. But I don't think I can run the server at the moment. No. All right. So what's actually going to happen is we would need to permissions not required here because it redirects to the Kanban board. If the user doesn't have access to the Kanban board, it's easy to check at the Kanban board level. We're fine with this. No permission checking here, as that is done at the Kanban board information level. Done. All right, cool. We're happy with that. Now we move on to the next one. So once again, we've got task permissions, change task. Check change task permissions. This is one of the ones which we've got to determine whether or not it really affects us, and so forth like that. So I can scribe that out, and I'm going to write down change task permissions. Okay. Check change task permissions. All right, so that will be passing through the change task ID and any quarks. This is where we'll need. Okay. I'm just going to shove this over here and look at object permission. This is where we'll probably need the object lookup. Or we use a specific check change task permission. So if we actually open up that right now, so decorators, check permissions. So if we just go like this and undo that so we can actually see the code. As you see, we've got the check change task permission. We've got the minimum permission level. We've got a decorator. We've got the usual that. And then, yeah, we've just got that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this. And we're going to say, yeah, it gets the destination and stuff like that from there. We're going to do that. We're going to obtain destination from args. All right. And we're going to assume that. And then we've got object generic down here, which we should move into a partial. And that should be generic permissions.py. Gonna keep that there. And I'm going to cut all this. All right, get rid of that internal function. This will be called generic permissions. We need to include from NearBeach.models import user group. We need to import group and object assignment. All right, 2 lines to fix that issue. In here, looks like we don't need that anymore. And then what we need to do is from partials, generic permissions. What I'm going to, yeah, I think that's a better way of doing it with a dot. And that should be then generic permissions. All right. Cool. Yeah, so if they've got an ID, we want to, yeah, all right, cool, yeah, we need that in there. Otherwise, it will end up just looking at the whole thing, their whole permissions, not that specific group sort of stuff. Yep, cool. So that's working perfectly. Okay, so we've got the check generic permissions. And then what we'll have down here is def check specific object permissions. And then we've got the min permission level, and then we've got the object lookup. So this is, oops. We're going to copy this. We're actually going to edit it very heavily. Checks the users. Alright, cool. Checks the user's permissions against the provided object lookup. Yep, alright, cool. So in this sort of case, we've got like the change task permissions and so forth like that. So what we'll do is, once again, it's mostly similar to this. So if we just go bang and then go bang, and then bang. We've got the decorator, we've got the args and quags. If super user will piss them off. If object lookup equals nothing, raise permission denied. All right, cool. Then the next thing is, this is where we use, so use the function dict to determine which partial permissions we need to reference. All right, so passes and user level will equal function dict, where we've got the object lookup, then we've got the request. And in this sort of case, this is where we look stuff up again. So if we got change task permissions, we've got that and quags. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna be specific. All right, we need the quags coming through, because all of these have got to be sort of similar sort of calls. Okay, we can fix this up very, very quickly. I'm just wondering if we want to pass to the ID or the quags. So we've got quags in there. I mean, that could... I feel like the quags would be better to pass through. So, what we've got is... we've got the check specific objects. We've got the object lookup. We've got the permission. So we've got the object lookup. We've got the request. I feel like we're going to have to go with quags. It's as simple as that. That. Ooh. Yeah, I've got to update this very quickly. Okay. So, change task. This is where I do something like from... I could do that. Get rid of this line. No, that won't work. All right. From dot partials dot. We've got the change task permissions. Import the change task permissions from dot partials dot. Kanban board permissions. Import Kanban board permissions. That's actually got to belong there. All right. From partials dot. Request for change permissions. Request for change permissions from. All right. And then we'll comment out the ones we don't have in there at the moment, and that's fine. We'll build upon this as we go along. So what we've got, change task, and then this will be change task permissions. It should be... All right. It's just, yeah, I was just doing that. All right, customer Kanban board. Yep, that one will need to go Kanban board permissions, and we'll leave it like that. Same with Kanban board. Like so. Kanban card. We don't have Kanban card in here at the moment. We've got request for change. Don't have that. We've got requirement item. Like that. Which technically should belong in the queue like that, because this is meant to be in alphabetical order. Alright. So we don't have those, but that's fine. So the generic permissions we're happy with. The specific permissions is where we've got the object lookup. We can get rid of that. Cool. And that should be fine. Fingers crossed. We do need to make all of them very generic. So I'll just write that note down. All functions have to be generic. Okay, and we'll do that now. So I'm just gonna close that. So, and close that. So change task permission. We've got quags. We're happy with the quags. We think the quags are good. So I'm gonna keep that over there for reference, and I'm gonna zip this back. All right, so generic permission. And we have object lookup. Oh, no, we want this. This is generic. All right, cool. This has the Kanban card. We need quags coming through. So that then becomes quags. And then that becomes Kanban. Oh. Yeah, I don't think that passes through. Just checking the Kanban board. This might be one of those things where I actually change this to the Kanban card. Because yeah, I feel like this would be generic. Yeah. Oh, right. How am I going to do this? Yeah, this is... All right, I'm going to write a note. All right, cool. So I've just written down Kanban board permissions is using Kanban card. Look into this. What I'm going to do is I am going to undo all my changes. All right. Kanban card. The reason being is I'm going to investigate this. It might be one of those cases where I really should be naming this correctly, object Kanban card, and then dealing with it like that. When we go through all the permissions, we're actually double checking every single function. We're adding in stuff too. So we'll have to double check it. So not going to be a problem. Cool. So the next thing we want to look at, request for change. That's using quags, and that uses the request for change ID. All right, cool. So yeah, this is using a specific one instead of the generic, which all children looks like are using specific functionality instead of generic, which makes sense because you're actually not looking at that particular thing. You're actually looking at the one above. We've just got to figure out how we can do that when the destination is, yeah, where we're looking up object destination. And once again, it might be one of those things which we just program in, wherever I put these, sorry, the object permissions. It might be one of those cases where we just program in a dictionary, and all of these other ones might just be generic functionality, in which case then we can probably shrink this down into one and just have, all right, cool, we've got function dictionary and so forth like that, done, perfect. And if object lookup is that, then we pass through the quags or something like that. So yeah, we'll look into this properly. All right, cool. And yeah, it might be one of those cases that where all the partials will be shaped the same, function-wise. You know how we've got these functions like this. They might be shaped like that, but all in a similar way. But some of them might have underscores where we're just making sure that it's filling up that spot. So yeah, things to think about. All right. So we did card views, changed task views. I'm just gonna close all. Check change task permissions. So this okay. This is where we want to use this particular one, check specific object permission, and that will be the change task. All right, and we use the change task permissions. Sorry, just changing that up very quickly. All right. So from NearBeach.decorators.check, check user permission dot, and then this will be object permissions import check specific object permissions. All right, so this will become check specific object permissions, and object lookup will equal change task. All right, and that should pass because we've got the change task ID. So let's go through that. So we go into here, we're passing through the request, change ID, and any quargs and args. So we hit the object permissions. We've got the object lookup. We're like, all right, cool. It's not 0. Go down here, function dictionary, change tasks, change task permissions. All right, sweet. What we're passing through is the request and quargs. All right, sweet. In here, got the request and quargs. The quargs get the change task ID, which is right here. It does its magic, sends back a true, and use the level. And this just does its usual thing. So if not passes, request permission denied. Then it checks the permission. If it's greater than the minimum permission level, it just goes, yep, that's all fine. Otherwise, bang, gets rid of it. Cool. So I think that is definitely going to work here. Okay, scrolling down. All right, the same with the delete. The delete function will work the same too. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste. It's just going to be quicker to do it like that. All right. Change task user permissions. Yep. All right. Cool. cool. So I'm happy with this, being that, yeah, we're hitting a sort of generic location. Okay. So we've got change task views. Now customer views, this isn't going to work anymore. So NearBeach decorators, check user permissions, dot customer permissions, import check customer permissions, and that's all we need to do with this particular one. I'm pretty happy with this. This is stock standard sort of stuff. The dashboard views don't actually have any sort of information on it whatsoever. It's zero access, so anyone can access this, which we're happy with. It's just the usual other decorators, so making sure it's post and all that kind of stuff. Document views, once again, a lot of this does not have any sort of decorators on it because it has its own sort of checks. And the checks are done inside the function itself and not inside a decorator because it won't make sense if it's inside a decorator. The errors won't need any permission checking, so we're going to ignore them. The group views. Socks. Don't you dare step on my keyboard. You get false cuddles again. Alright. Yeah, enjoy those cuddles. Alright, Socks. Up here. Look. Look. Alright, that's where you have to beg for treats. Alright, so check user admin permissions. From NearBeach.decorators, check user permissions. This would be admin permissions and check user admin permissions. All right, so that's the same. So we're going to be happy with this one. I don't think we've got any other. Ooh, get user permissions. NearBeach views, tools, internal functions. Hold on. Oh, that might be the actually getting that particular value out of that field. Yeah, not worried at that. That looks like it's getting data. It's not dealing with the user permissions per se. So I'm going to close all these tabs. So we're up to Kanban column views. And this from NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions. Now this is check. This is what we need to double check. Okay. Edit column. Ooh. All right. This is the Kanban column views. No, all right, sorry. What I'm writing down, Kanban column views currently has no permission checking. Which is something we got to do. And we've got to figure out how this will fit in the whole system. The idea being is with the new improved permission checking, at the same time we go through and we get everything. So we're not skipping any permission checks anywhere, because we don't want people being able to break into the system or skirt around the permissions and so forth like that. So edit column should check if the person can edit the Kanban board. In which case we need to add in the specific lookups. Now we'll have the Kanban column ID. So undo from NearBeach.decorators.checkUserPermissions.object permissions import check. Now this is going to be specific permissions. Oops. Come on, DD. The fuck is going on? Excuse my French. I had cap locks on. That's what was going on. All right. Check specific object permissions, min permission level. Now we want this to be edit. So remember, 1 is read only, 2 is edit. An object lookup will be Kanban board. So we're actually looking up the Kanban board permissions. So that should be fine. That will work with the edit column. And we're just gonna paste that in with the delete. Yeah, that's definitely a 4. New column. Yeah, that's a 3. Okay, that's a 2. It's complaining about that. More actions. You're kidding me, it's 1 line. No, oh my god, look, they're 2 completely, utterly, no. No. How do I make that disappear? Do not detect duplicates of this size. It's not a duplicate. These are all different. It's the same. Oh. Anyway, just JetBrain's having JetBrain conundrums. It's not realizing that, hey, these are 2 completely and utterly different methods and so forth like that. And it's like, these are duplicates. No, it's not. All right. I don't know how to bring up that sort of duplicate thing, but this looks like it is where we need it to be. So we're actually going to copy the same thing for this. So we need to just paste these in. So the edit level. We're just going to quickly rush through and paste them in, because then we can go from the top. Oops. Accidentally do the wrong thing. From NearBeach.decorators.checkUserPermissions.object permission import check specific object permission. Alright, so we delete this. That will be a 4 for the delete. That will be a 3 for that. That's going to be a 2. Alright, done. Okay, Kanban views. So check user permission, check Kanban permission. This is, yeah. This is gonna be one of those ones. How's it going? Slow, but good. Good. So splitting it up does actually help, because I can map it in my head correctly. We haven't reached the point where we're like, oh no, we need to do this, this, and this. We do need to, all the partial functions, I should write partial in there. So all the partial functions have to be in sort of like a generic format. That will change as I write this out. The specific functionality works perfectly fine, and it looks like we can map. Yeah, it looks like we can map the functions in a dictionary. So we just be like, all right, it's this one. So then it goes in and it goes, all right, I'm going to use this one. Kanban board permissions is using the card ID. So that is something that I've got to investigate now. So we're on that right now. So we'll investigate that. And the Kanban card column is no permission checking. We've just fixed that up. So I'll go over there. Sorry, sweetie, you're pacing. So yeah, we've just got two things. It's just slow. We all know NearBeach is rather large code base now. So yeah, it's just fixing up all of these. We're about almost halfway. I think once we pass object data, we're definitely past the halfway point. So yeah. Alright, this is the one which is check user permissions, check Kanban permissions. So we'll go have a look down here. So we're checking user permissions, min level, and then the object lookup is Kanban board. Oh yeah, we don't actually have. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Kanban card and Kanban board as a thing. So if we go up to the partials, Kanban board permissions, I'm going to change this to Kanban board. But I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in. And it's going to be Kanban card permissions. I'm going to add it in. Both of them are going to have quags. Like so. So default level is 0. Determine if there's any crossover between the user groups and the object lookup. So what we want, yada yada, object assignment where the Kanban board ID and then equals the quags Kanban board ID. Thank you, socks. All right, come on, come get cuddles. So this is the Kanban board permission. So it looks at the board itself, and then we'll have one for card. So once again, quag. And then that will be quags, and then Kanban card ID. And that's the only difference. I think that's going to work really, really well. And I think the music has just stopped. Yes. There we go. We're on another track. It's been 2 hours. Ah, neat. So what I need to do, this changes to Kanban card permissions. We're going to save that. We're going to go to our object one up here. So there's the board permissions. Here's the card. That should be correct. From .partials.kanban card permissions, import Kanban card permissions. Kanban board. It's got to be plural. Got to be consistent. Inconsistency kills a project. Or kills a code base. Where the bloody hell am I? There I am. Alright. So, Kanban board, Kanban board. Kanban card permissions. Alright, cool. And that's, those are used when it's essentially the, yeah, those are used in those things when we don't have the destination properly coming through. Alright, cool. Alright, so in here we've got the specific permission, which we know is a Kanban board. And that will look up the board permission and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's good news. Check specific objects. Oh, I didn't want this. Alright, cool. So, check user permission. So, this now becomes from NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions. This is object permissions import. We're going to import it like this. Actually, no, we just have check specific object permissions. Alright. And we can get rid of this. Like that. So we've got the check specific object permissions for the moment. So at check specific object permissions, minimum permission level is going to be 2. Object lookup is going to be Kanban board. And we're happy with that. Someone's getting pizza. This will be the same. So the archive cards, that will just look up the permission itself on the Kanban board. Ooh, hang on a minute. I've just noticed maybe a bug. We're not passing through the location ID for the board. In this case, yeah, I don't know what to do there. But this should stop most of the attacks. Alright. Alright, check Kanban board name. Alright, cool. Yep. Alright, cool. Get context is an internal function. Get max sort ID is internal function. There we go for this one. This is number 3. All right, cool. It's also number 3. Okay. This is number 1. Number 1. Number 3. Check Kanban board permissions. All right, number 2. Because the generic should pick up that particular thing. Oh, hold on. We've got the card ID. So I'm going to change this to Kanban card. And it should be a 2. Just quickly double checking these ones. Kanban board. Kanban board. Kanban board. Alright, cool. It's only this one so far that has a card. So move Kanban card. Yeah, we need to look at the card ID to get the board ID number. So yeah, we definitely need to do it like that. Alright. New Kanban board. Alright. Specific permissions. Yeah, the user will need a 3. User will need a 2 for this one. All right. Almost there. 2 more to go. All right, sweet. All right, so we've done the Kanban board. Note view we don't need to do. Yeah, this is one of the things which we've got to think about, being like, all right, cool. Might be one of those cases where we pass through. Actually, no, the note should actually be checked to see if the user has access to it at the thing. They should be custom permissions done at the thing. If the delete note and all that kind of stuff. All right. Alright, so the delete note does not check user permissions. In this sort of case, we need to actually do something custom, much like the documentation sort of stuff. Make sure either the user is an admin or they're the owner of the object. So it might be one of those sort of cases where we can, yeah, we'll put in a bug. All right. Anyway, give me about 2 minutes. I will be right back. And I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. I am back. Just in time too. So let's put through a bug so we don't lose this. New issues. CRUD for notes does not have any permission checking. Let's bring in this. Socks, don't you dare sit on my keyboard. Okay, currently the CRUD for notes does not have any user checking. The user permission checking. The user permission checking should, one, make sure the user has access to the object. Or is admin. Make sure when editing / deleting, the user can only edit / delete their notes unless admin, and so forth. So priority, this is I'm going to say normal. State submitted. Gonna assign it to me. Subclass would be notes. We're gonna add a new value note. We're gonna make it this very light lime green. We're gonna click on the version and we're gonna assign it this version. Create. Cool. And we're gonna get rid of that star. Okay, cool. So no notes, notification views, there. All right, I don't know what those are. Oh, alright, yeah, no, I remember. That just pisses them off to the dashboard. Alright, I'm going to close all tabs. We're going to hit object data. This is the big kahuna. So, a lot of this is check user permissions. From NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions, check import. Now it's object permissions, import, check. User generic permissions. Isn't that right, Socks? And we might have, so I'm going to do this in 2 lines. Check user and check user, yep. I'm gonna get rid of that. All right. So a lot of the cases, it's just gonna be this one. So we're just gonna scroll down. Oh. Yeah, sucks. All right. Just one at the moment. We haven't programmed this in whatsoever. Did we? Oh, alright, yep, this is a special case, yeah, because the add bug would be a specific case. So if we have a look at the decorators and we go, sucks. You can't have both. Either walking around or you're getting cuddled. Yes, a little tiny meow. You're like, no. You just want treats. Actually, no. Check generic permission. Checking the generic permissions will work because we got the destination and we got the location ID. That's the only information we really need. There goes Socks. You're getting treats. Her tail's wagging a little. She's like, yeah, fucking get your treats, man. Should be like half an hour. This is Socks. She's a bit angry. Alright, Socks. You know what time it is. Are you gonna hop in your bed? She's like, no. Are you gonna hop in your bed? Alright, I'll be right back. Treats are in the kitchen. In your bed. Yeah, hop in your bed. Don't half get in and then get out. Get in your bed. Good. In your bed properly, not halfway. Right. Also, Max, here we go. There we go. Got one more treat. One day she'll start getting back in her bed. I remember when I first taught her, she jumped in and stuff, and now she's like halfway in. She's like, "Can I get it now?" It's like, oh, you're pushing the boundary, Socks. Go. No. She's like, I now want to show my fluffy butt. Alright, we're getting back into it. So the generic permissions will work here. And in a lot of cases, it'll be, for these ones, add customer, add group, add link, add notes. Mocha used to play fetch with me, but doesn't anymore. Aww. So Max, who's no longer in the room, he does play fetch also. So every now and then he'll just want to run around and stuff like that. So he'll bring you a mouse and I just throw it. It's cute. It is very, very cute. Add tags. Add user. Admin add user. I'm going to leave this one out because I need to actually figure out what permission set it is. Mocha still wants me to throw stuff. He just doesn't bring it back. He's efficient. He's like, throw it for me. Cool. Still got that power. Alright, I'm going to put in a new bug request because this requires me actually researching stuff. So, no permissions on admin and user. Need to determine what permissions. Permission decorator is required. The above functionality found in object data has no permissions attached to it. Figure out what it does and what preferred permission decorator is needed / required. Done. Priority. This is definitely going to be a major one because it looks like it's going to be a permission permissions. Yeah, because it looks like it's part of the admin sort of stuff. And whether or not this actually still belongs in this particular code, if this is an administration function, we might actually bring it out of object data, because object data deals with data around object and sometimes admin add user. If that's a really an administration thing, we need to put that in the administration view. So, yeah. So, going back to this, associated objects. We're not adding or anything like that. I just assume it's going to be a 1. Now that's an internal function. Bug client list, that's a 1. A lot of these are going to be 1s in this thing. Customer list is a 1. Check destination is a 1. Delete bug, that is a 4. Anything with delete in it is a 4. We've got a bunch of internal functions, and then group and user data. It's a 1. So we've still got to check the permissions, lead user list. Yeah, we've still got to check the permissions, because we don't want people to be able to access data they should not be able to access data. Note list is a 1. So if they don't have access to an object, they don't have access to that object's metadata. Remove customer, that's a 2. Remove a group, that's a 2. Remove link, that's a 2. Remove user, that's a 2. Tag list, that's a 1. Tag list all is a 1, and user list is all a 1. Alright, cool. And that's dead code. So we're past halfway now. So organization views, this is going to be an easy one. So what we need to do is from nearbeach.decorators.checkuser check user permissions dot import. All right, cool. And then that should fix that file. Permissions set. All right, so we need to change this from nearbeach.decorators.check user. Sorry, my brain just decided to pack up shop and just leave my head just then. I was like, what am I looking for? Who am I looking for? Yeah, no, it just went, it left. So that one's pretty easy. The project views. Once again, this will be from nearbeach.decorators.checkuserpermission. This will be object permissions import check specific permissions. So we'll check specific permissions first. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this and we'll just paste it in here. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Yeah, just us going through all of this. Yep, that'll be fine. All right, I reckon specific permissions in this one too. So I'm just gonna yank this line. I'm just going to paste it. I'm gonna delete this line. I'm gonna copy this. That's an internal function, internal functions. Here we go. Oh, I've got to actually, I've got to do this properly. Because we don't have object data, so it's going to raise a problem. All right. So we've got object permissions. We've got request for change. Okay. So we're just having a scoot down once again. So we've got check specific permissions. We actually don't have object lookup, request for change. And what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this. We're just going to paste it in. So we need to paste it in here. So we're just going to go paste like so. Like so. All right, copy. Paste. 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 All right. It's going all the way back down. Probably going to sneeze in a minute. All right, good thing I got the mic in time. That was a very violent sneeze. All right, so we've just done request for change. All right, so we've got requirement item permissions and check permissions in here. So from Django.views.decorator, NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions object permission import check specific and generic. All right, cool. Now that will become check specific permissions, and then object lookup will be a requirement item. Easy. Yeah, this is check specific requirement item. Check specific requirement item. Check specific. All right, cool. Object lookup requirement item. Cool. Yep. Now I'm just going back to that one. We can get rid of that. From NearBeach.decorators dot check user permission dot object permission import check specific permissions. I don't think many of these. Yeah, the generic is when we're using destination location ID. We're not here. We actually need to say specific. So check specific requirement. Oh, that's another thing is, yeah, requirement item, new requirement item, and we've got to look up requirement, not requirement ID. Yep, that's item. That is item. Yeah, cool. Sorry, I just needed to make sure I'm doing the nodes correctly. So, just done that one. Just done that one. Oh my god, would this thing activate or? Too many blank lines, yeah, alright. Alright, easy done. Check user specific objects, check requirement. Yeah, this is just pretty simple stuff. Now I do need to go through and actually fill this out for a lot of them, which will be happening hopefully soon. It's going to take me days to do it. It's going to be a pain. It's one of those things where I might just sit down and just absolutely spend ages on it. Much like this. But this makes sense. Spending time on this makes sense. Because this will actually speed up development and changes to any sort of permissions and so forth like that. Because nowadays that we've split everything out, we can modify it quickly. Alright. From NearBeach.decorators.checkUserPermission. Piss off. .object import check specific object permissions. And no socks, that wasn't aimed at you. But she wants the cupboard door open for some strange reason. There's nothing in there. I'm gonna go have a look. Nothing. Oh, and we've got another red text up here. Alright. Oh. Alright, this is... What did I delete? Alright, cool. So, from NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions admin permissions, check user admin permissions. That will fix that. This one, if we remove it, search in itself, apart from searching groups, which is an administration thing, this should be fine. We don't need a high-level functional. We don't need a permission check anything. That needs a... Oh, well, now that I say that, object lookup tag. Alright. We don't have tag in here. So what we're going to do is add it in. Like so. Like so. All right. With the search views, that will be, I'm just going to fly to the top. Oh, we already have check. Oh, no, we've got check admin permissions. So from NearBeach decorators, check user permission, dot check object permission import, check specific object permission. All right, that will work when we fix this up. So if we go check user permissions, let's search for tag. Nothing for tag. All right, not a problem. It'll be very similar to generic permissions. In the sense, we're not doing this. All right. So we're not dealing with any of those permissions. So user group results, user group object filter. So we're looking at the max permission of all of that. All right. We're not. Oh, with the object lookup, don't we? Because we'll have the check specifics. Request quags. All right, so we get rid of this. Let's have a look at the change task permissions. I'm going to shove them to the right. I'm going to have a look at this. So with our quags, yeah, a lot of this will be essentially max permission set tag. Followed by permission set tag max. And that's it. Simple as that. And the generic will be able to, sorry, not the generic, the specific will be able to pull it out. Yeah. Because we don't want people who can edit stuff to search the tags in a specific way. So yeah, all right, cool. I'm going to close all tabs. So we're just on search. The tag So from NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions admin permissions import check user admin permissions. Now I don't know if there's a check user permissions, so I'm just going to delete that and have a look. Check user permissions, object lookup tag. All right, sweet. No, that's not going to be a problem. So from NearBeach.decorators.check user permissions object check specific. And all we need to do is just paste. There we go. All right, sweet. Yeah. Task view. Alright, I just needed to paste those over. Alright. Cool, and then user views. Oh, let's check admin permissions. Oh, this might be just me going from NearBeach.decorators.check user permission .admin permissions check admin permissions. Done. Alright. We wipe back a couple of tiers. We hope for the best. Python 3 manage test. Oh. Alright. No problem. It's asking us to fix some stuff up. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to hit this play button because it'll give us these hyperlinks. So partials views import tag permissions. Gotta be plural. Stop and rerun. Stop. Alright, cool. Ooh, we got a bunch of A's. This isn't good. It's in this object lookup. Alright. Yeah. But that being said, we're really close. I have a feeling all those E's are because we haven't done specific partials for those particular objects. And it won't take too long to actually do those partials at all. As you saw with the tags, it bang, like done. With the change task permissions, we can actually copy this, change a few things in here, and we'll be on our way. So yeah, so for example, request for change permission. We can probably look at that and be like, oh, okay, cool. We don't need request for change. We need project ID for project ID and so forth like that. So yeah, we are getting really close. So I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to close all of these tabs. I'm going to have a look at this. So decorators, check user permission, 87, yep, we're fine with that. Key error, task ID. All right, let's actually go and open up our object permissions. So we'll have to have one for task. We'll have to have one for project. We'll have to have one for organization. Yeah, we need it with the specific, because a lot of the cases we don't have a destination or anything like that. I mean, in reality, yeah, we don't want to open up this one. Yeah. We want to be very specific. That way, if we need to change the permissions on that object, we can. I mean, yeah. All right. So what one am I going to copy? I don't know if we're doing customer, but requirement should be one. So I'm going to paste. I'm going to do that. I'm going to add it in, and we're going to go through this and fix it. So I don't think we need this at all. So we need requirement results, where requirement objects equals like that. All right, cool. That is redundant. So now we've got the requirement results, user group results. Now requirement ID equals requirement results, requirement ID. Yep, that makes sense. None of that's been changed. Why is this giving me a green? I'll piss off with the duplicate lines. This is one freaking object. Oh. All right. That's complaining because these 10 lines are like, hey. But in reality, of course, they'll be the same elsewhere. Because this is a basic permission setup. All right, so length, group user equals nothing, false, no groups meaning no permission. All right, sweet, get the max permissions from user. So permission sets requirement, permission set requirement max. All right. Perfect. We're sending this. So what we need to do is we're also going to paste again. And we're going to go project permissions. Ooh. And I just noticed as I'm running that, I need to get rid of this. And permissions. Gotta make it there too. You're gonna go in here and be like, oh, gotta add it in. Oop. Gotta add it in. With this, what we'll have is we'll have requirement permissions, like so. Paste it on after there, and then up here from partials dot requirement permissions import requirement permissions. Everyone's happy. For this one, it will be pretty much the same. It'll be project permissions, and this will be task permissions, like so. So up here, from partials dot project permissions import project permissions, and then we just do another one from, and then the task permissions and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, easy done. Like so. So they will solve themselves. as we go through this. So in here, we won't need those, but we'll need project. So we'll get rid of that. We'll go project results equals project dot objects got get, and then delete that. It's going to be easier if I do it like this. Project results equals project objects get project ID equals quargs project ID. Sweet. And then in here, project ID equals project results dot project ID. And then user results, and then down here, instead of requirement, we've got project and project. That should be it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste and go task permissions. All right, task permissions, sweet. So instead of project results, we go task results. That will be task. We get rid of project up here. We go task. We go task ID. We go task ID. User results, user yada yada. So task ID. Task results. User results, none false. Yep. User da, 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 da. So what we need down here is task, and then we need task. All right, sweet. So if we go back to our object permissions, I'm going to close everything else. We should have fixed a lot of these. So we've got 51 tests. Ooh, we've still got quite a number of E's, but a lot less this time. As I say that, we get even more. All right. Now we've got key error task ID. Okay. So what I'm going to do is going to find these, and these are just meant to be task, not task ID. Ugh. And then project ID. All right, cool. Yeah, we just needed to need to fix those up. So object ID, and then we've got RFC. No. Requirement, request for change, requirement item. All right, cool. Cool. All right, still got some E's, but once again, we'll go through this. We'll, yeah, the unit tests are pretty solid with testing the permissions. Attribute task has no attribute project ID. All right. Yeah, we stupidly did that. So we found 46 last time. We've now got 38 errors. All right, quargs. Task ID. All right, so this one, we've got to look up A permission where we don't have the task ID. Ooh. Okay, I'll put that in the bug thing, so I'm going to cross that out. Solve that one. Yep. All right. Okay. So. Also keeping an eye on the time. Okay. So now I need to backtrack to be like, all right, cool. Where did this come from? So we've got the function dictionary, we've got the task ID, and it's failing at the task ID. And we're like, no, that shouldn't be happening. In this sort of case, which test are we failing on? So test task view. Test new task with bad form. All right, so we'll go to test task view. So what we need to do, go into the views. We need to go into the tests. Test views. Where is this? Test views, test task. Test task views. And this is the line 62. So we're actually testing a bad form data. So this is hitting new task save. So we'll need to go into new task save. So this is task information save. Task information. New task save. Oh. All right, we don't actually have a task ID or anything like that. But in reality, we shouldn't need it. All right, give me a couple of seconds. I think I know what's going on. So now we've got user group results here. All right, cool. We didn't check the length of the quag and stuff like that. We don't do it in here either. We just assume there's going to be an ID in there, and that's not correct. So if we click on generic, actually, sorry, I'll put the generic on this side. In the generic, we double check the quags. So we get the user group results first, and then in here, this is where we check everything else. So we need to structure those generic ones like that. So in this sort of case, what we need to do is we need to grab this. So by default user level is 0. We put this in. If we are passing the object lookup, no, that'll be a different instruction. Check to see if we are passing the task ID. If length of quags is greater than 0, then what we want to do is task instance. So these automatically go up here. And then this will be the user group results.filter. And then we just up this too. So yeah, we only do that if there's no results whatsoever. Sorry, if there is any task ID. So we should have fixed that. We've got to fix it on other things now. So we know the pattern. As you see, it's pretty easy to key that pattern in very quickly. So we can do that extremely quickly now. Excuse me whilst I flick this around. And in fact, I've just noticed something. Task results. I just really need Quag's task ID. I can even get that down. No, we're checking these down here. All right, no, don't worry. All right. There's a couple of things I can fix. So yeah, let's hit the project permission. So we're getting actually rid of this. And what we're doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just doing that. And then what we're doing, if length of quags is greater than 0, and then shift V, all of that, paste that up, go over here, quags, project ID. And that fixes that one. And then let's run these tests again. So we're still getting a bit of errors. That is fine. So now down to 32. And we've got task. All right, generic permissions, line 24. So we're now going to the generic permissions, line 24. Partials, generic permissions. Line 24. Ooh, alright, that's meant to be task ID for that specific one. I think I've accidentally changed something which I was not meant to change. So we're just going to find out what that is. That's a quick and easy fix. So what we need to do is we just got to read these files, decorators, handlers, test object data. So test object data. So test views, test object data. All right, 136. All right, so we're going through all of this. It is in test correct object data without forms. Test correct object without forms. All right, it's going through these forms. I'm assuming We're looking up key error task. I don't see task in there. Oh, args task. All right. Okay. Here we go. Error, test correct data without forms. Test correct object data without forms. So NearBeach tests that forms user list. So it's the last one that it hits an error with. Okay, cool. So it is URL list, user list. So for your yep. All right, cool. Response, reverse URL, task one. All right, cool. So we need to go to user list. This is where we need the URLs. So we're going to object data destination location. So task location ID under object data. All right. So here we've got the destination and we've got the location ID. I think I know what I've got to do. So with these generic lookups, I think I've just got to do that. Still getting a lot of A's. Hopefully not too many. Oh god, not too many more. Still got 32. Key error. Task ID. Object data views. We've got the destination location ID. Oh, we should be getting the location ID. What am I talking about? It's generic. Because we've got the object lookup and then we've got the location ID. Oh. Still got 32, but we've now got fails. All right. Yeah. So we're not going to be, unless we're programmed in the wrong status code for NearBeach, we're not going to be editing many of the unit tests at the moment. We will be actually adding to the unit tests, but we're pretty sure that a lot of the unit tests are correct. So we're getting back to that sort of state at the moment. So we have assert equal, response status code is going to be 200, and we've got a 403. So that is test object data. Let's have a look at what it's going through user list. So I'll tell you what, we're just going to put in debug mode. We're going to make sure we've got the npm run prod, so we've got the latest code. And we're going to run localhost. Now, in this sort of case, we are going to open up this. We're also going to open up our network and we're going to reload. So we've got everything. I'm just going to go to task. And we've got 500 on a bunch of stuff. Okay. 500 internal server error. Unexpected keyword argument user level. Alright, not a problem. This gives us the ability to breakpoint. So I'm going to add in a breakpoint right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to resend. Okay, cool. So what we've got, the quarks, we've got location ID is 2. The object lookup is task. So we're happy with that. I can see this here. I'm terribly sorry for those who can't read that. It is very small fine print. So we're getting the user results. So the user results, there's 3 of them at the moment. So if the quarks is greater than 0, great. We jump into here. All right. So now the group results, you've got the QA team. Sweet. So in here, so we got the object lookup, which is task. So we've got the replace just in case. All right. We've got the max level 4. And we're returning true. So go into here. So we're in generic. Check user generic permissions now. If not passes. So passes should be true. It's true. And user level should be greater than the min permission level, which is a 1. All right, so function args user level equals user level. And I think I know what's happening. So I'm going to close all these. We're going to open up object data. We're going to scroll all the way to the top. I think I know what's happened. We don't have quarks or args here. And that's the problem. So we actually got to program, key these in. So we're just going to quickly go through and paste them in. Oop. Like so. All right, we haven't done that one yet, but we will be doing that one. So it's a bit of a tedious thing to do. Internal function, that's fine. But we've got to internal function. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's a simple fix. All right. Args and quarks. just you know, the slow copy and paste. This is taking a while. All right. Paste that in, paste that in. Paste that in. Paste that in. Paste that in. Oh, almost there. Oh, did that wrong. Paste that in. Paste that in. Paste that in. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a refresh here first. Oh, we're hitting a breakpoint. I forgot to take off that breakpoint. So we'll refresh everything. All right, so we've got a couple that have failed. But that's not a problem. Endpoint connection error. Yes, that's on me. Tag list all. Ooh, this will be a good one. Bug client list. All right. So bug client list. Let's put a breakpoint on there. Let's resend that one. All right, we might need to put it on the generic permissions. All right, can't use generic permissions. We don't have an object or destination. All right, cool. That's fine. That one we're fine with. Tag list all. Oh. All right, that's listing all the tags. That's perfectly fine. That doesn't need permissions. Anyone can get all of the tags. All right, cool. So the only thing that's failing is this, and that's just because we're not running our Docker environment. So let's do our unit tests. All right, we're getting 2 so far. All right, we've got a couple of Fs. So we've got 3 errors and 16 failures. Okay. Doing rather well at the moment. Okay. $403 doesn't equal 200. Okay, NearBeach, test views, object, test object, Oh, can I actually do this in here? Wait, something I do remember. If I can actually, I'm trying to remember if I can run the tests in here. Yeah, I can. No tests were found. Ah, it's doing that stupid thing. Oh, that's why. Yeah, now I remember. All right. So So here we are. The following tests will make sure, 1, each object data function will work correctly when given the correct description and location ID. Form data is not required for these tests. Okay, cool. So what is failing is user list. So user list is failing. Okay. So if we go to URLs, there's our user list. Let's go to that particular implementation. Now check generic permissions for this user list. Yeah. We've got the destination, we've got the location ID. So that's using the correct thing. We want a generic permission here. And it's saying 400. If we go back to the test. Ooh. Who's logged in? Team leader. I think that's it. Oh, wait, we want the response of 403. Oh. Just wait. For starters, test correct object data without forms. Yeah. For logging in as team leader, these have got to be a 2. Okay, still errors, we know about that. Hopefully the fails drop. So we've got 3 errors, 8 failures now. Alright, and this is, yeah, we just got to fix this up. So we're just going through all of these. Yeah, team leader. Yeah, it's doing that. All right, cool. So we've just done that one. Is that the same one? Object with forms, object data. Pretty sure that's all the same. So we should be getting hopefully less than 8 failures now. We'll fix up those errors in a minute. Failures 8 again. Okay. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to quickly try and see if I can solve this one. If I can't, we will probably call it there. All right. Test correct object data with forms. Okay, so we should all be going to... Oh, I've done it on the wrong thing. I don't know what the reverse URL is doing. And hey, Cophobia, how are you? Long time no see. What have you been up to? We're currently refactoring our user permissions, so they're looking a lot nicer than they were. Yeah, I remember you. Nah, you haven't fallen. What you been up to? I have been refactoring tonight. It's been good. How, just fixing up the tests at the moment. All right, cool. So we've now got less issues. So we've still got a 403 for this particular one. But it's most likely because I don't have access to it. Oh. Sub goal? Your sub goal of 10 was just completed. What? Alright, thank you very much. I don't know who gave the sub goal. Sorry, this thing isn't... Oh, shush. Okay. Yeah, it's nice seeing you. Yeah. What have you been up to? Alright. Ooh, this is post link reversal. I think I just need to change this to a 2. A little love for some old friends. Oh, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. It just doesn't come up with who did it, which... Yeah. Oh well. It's annoying how it doesn't come up with it. But thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Alright, this is now coming up with just 3 errors. Someone else did. I'm just taking the credit. Oh, alright. Yeah, it doesn't say who subbed. But, yeah. Not actually. Alright, I'm really confused now. It's late at night, so, yeah. Now, if memory's serving me correctly... Was it your cats that got stuck in the roof? Alright, okay. See, reverse test permission denied. Alright, so we've got an error on this. Confucius says, cat with bad balance, lay for next pet. I will eventually get that one. I know that they lay down. Alright, we need that. Oh, wait, we need it at the test. Test permission denied. Oh, wait. That's odd activity feed. Just shows me with the treats and then the sub goal being complete. Weird. I know. It's okay. You're a dog person. Ah, fair enough. Yep. Yeah. Socks is around. She got her treats before, so she decided to go away. Talking about dogs. I've still got this little creature. Good old this is fine. Got a little mug with the this is fine. Oh, wrong way. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she was pacing quite a bit during stream before. So, yeah. Don't know why. She's now got a treat, so she's sleeping somewhere else where it's a lot less noisier. So, yeah. Anyway, we've got to... I reckon I can fix this. The test... this denied. Let's hit the bug. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Run server. Yeah, all good, all good. I'm about to finish anyway, so yeah. I just want to fix these few little items because I think I'm really close to getting the permissions back to where they used to be. All right, this should be permission. Sorry, it should be test permission denied. Oh. It's test / permission denied. Okay, test permission takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. I think I know what's gone wrong. Alright. Args. Quags. I think it's that issue. No? Alright. Let's go into this one. Implementation. I am going to put a thing here. Oh, thank you very much, Codephobia. Anyway, have fun. Yeah. Great seeing you again. So yeah. Drop by more often. Alright, so this... Okay. Won't take the genre? Oh yeah, yeah. Hopefully, so I'm currently working on 031. So yeah, hopefully that will fix up all of this, and yeah. Not all prime. Yeah. So yeah, still working through NearBeach, still getting it all up. So yeah, hoping I'll have more users by the end of this year. So yeah, getting that feedback loop started, which is great. So yeah, a little API love. Yes, yep, got to. Well, that's what I'm doing with the permissions. So the permissions will then fix up quite a lot of the issues in the API because currently it's quite easy to get information from other objects, which you don't have permission to. So once that's all done, so yeah, slow progress though. However, I've been documenting what I want to achieve. If I spell blogs correctly. So yeah, been documenting what I've been wanting to get and so forth like that. And I do have the retrospectives, but they tend to be on Patreon. So yeah. And speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Hey Socks, how are you? You coming? And Socks is here, complaining like always. She's mainly complaining because there's a giant dog in her bed. There you go, sweetie. We'll get that out. Swagger for the docs or something else. So I'm using read the docs. So yeah, I'm just using read the docs. Oh, right. Ooh. Otherwise, I've probably missed the point of Swagger. So just give me 2 seconds. Swagger. API document. Oh, no, I haven't. Not yet. No. Eventually. So, yeah. The idea being, currently, I haven't done a lot of this in a lot of the functionalities. I need to go back and do all of that. Cool. Been a bit since I've seen the other options. Yeah, sorry, I mistook. I thought you were talking about actually documenting stuff. Yeah, I've been using read the docs, which is just really how to install and stuff like that. So we've made a big improvement since 2022. We're now using Docker, so people can install on their own infrastructure really quickly. We've also improved the local development setup. So forth like that. So you can just download the Git, and it tells you, all right, cool. So download the Git repository. I know I've got to fix that. I just noticed that they're all ones. Make sure you install all the requirements and so forth like that. I've got to go through this again because, well, actually no, it should be working, but I've got to make sure it still works. Sucks. Sweet. You're just pacing. Design bad, but code to docs is such a nice. Yeah. So it's one of those things I do want to eventually do. I've just got to do this. I've got to go through, document all of this. So for example, with all the object data, I don't have anything of that in here, and I've got to go in here and actually apply it to everything in here. So that way, like one of the functions today, I was like, shoot, where does that get used and stuff like that. So yeah, I need to do it because I can remember quite a lot of this, but some of it just not quite yet. So yeah. All right, getting back to this issue. Takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. All right, let's go test permission denied. That's the test case. This is the permission itself. Okay, I'm just going to close everything. I'm going to open up the def. Check. Yeah, it should hit this. All right, if I get rid of that, let's hit save. Let's hit reload. That should just pass through. That should say hello world. All right, we're happy with that. And then if I do that, refresh again, wait a little while. Test permission denied. Take 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. So I don't need those. Does it want me to do that? Still coming up with that. We need to get back Ninja Bunny for the Pie Love. What is the Ninja Bunny again? She had to move on to NASA. Ah, okay. Oh, it's a person. Ah, yeah. Sorry, I was like, is it a mascot? So, yeah. Well, that's amazing. Working for NASA, damn. She's in live coders group. Ah, okay, yep. Back in the day. Ah, fair enough, yep. I've sadly forgotten quite a lot of people. It's one of those things, you just don't see them for ages and then you're like, oh yeah. Yeah. Alright, I don't know why this is erroring out. I am just going to do that, and I'm going to put Python at the start. And I'm going to get rid of the function. When you call a method on a class such as generate code in this case, Python automatically passes self as the first argument into the function. So when you call self.myfunc, it's more like calling myClass.func.self. Adding self to the function should... Weird. Does it even get into here? Or have I just done that before and forgot that it is actually needed? Alright, let's wait 1 second. Let's hit reload. There we go. Yeah, I've done something stupid. She had some of the best raid games, Hack the Planet. Oh, fair enough. Probably use Vim and Arch a lot, by the way. I keep my Arch in Docker for Go, then bop them on the head. I still haven't used Arch. I've used their wiki. Their wiki's really good, but still I haven't used Arch. Is Kali Linux? If I spelled it right, I probably didn't. Kali. Which one's this one? Rolling release. Based on Debian. No. Alright, I'm thinking of something different. Yeah, Kali's Debian. Arch plus Go is this is just super. I can't speak. Arch plus Go is just stupid small images. Oh, fair enough. Great for deploys, even though I'm far behind now. Oh, fair enough. NearBeach users, if we quickly go to nearbeach.nearbeach.docker, we actually have it. So we've got two files. We've got a base file and a docker file. We're using Alpine. So, yeah. This will build the base with all the libraries and stuff like that. And then the docker file, yeah, just grabs what was built. And that way, there's a reason why. The automation file will build every 3 days. And then what will actually happen is I'll use the latest libraries and stuff like that. But if there is a security issue in one of the libraries, what I can do is I can run this, get the updated libraries in here, and then do a release for NearBeach separate out of the dev cycle, and it'll essentially be the same NearBeach code, but the newer libraries. So yeah. Rust is good too for that, but don't let Rust devs know. I will eventually use Rust one day. I do want to use Rust with WASM. So one of these days. So it'll be one of those things where I will sit down, I'll get a book and go through it. I'm working for Cisco, and we're looking at moving from Circle CI to Actions now. Super interesting. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I'm still using Circle CI for the unit testing and eventually the end-to-end testing. But yeah, I'm using quite a lot of the actions. I had to actually, because good news is NearBeach I've registered as a not-for-profit in Australia. So the good news is I was able to go to GitHub and say, hey, we're a not-for-profit. And they're like, all right, cool, you get a Teams license for GitHub. So we've actually got a bit more space on GitHub Actions, as well as more minutes, which is good. So, yeah. Not-for-profit is so good. Yeah, same bank, yeah. You'll be surprised. Either you hit a free open source license or you get some credits or free license for not-for-profit. So anyway, so we should have fixed that error. I am just rerunning the tests. So we've got 2 more errors. Let's see what they are, and let's see if we can fix them very quickly. We're moving off feature flagging to save money. Oh, fair enough. But I didn't say. All right. I haven't implemented anything with feature flagging yet. It might be one day type of thing where I slowly release functionality to everyone, which would be nice. But yeah, I don't know how to implement it in NearBeach just yet. All right, cool. So this is requirement ID with requirement ID. Okay, this is coming through a lookup functionality. Test team leader in. Okay, so if I go like this, I find this, open up this. We are looking for the URL test new requirement. All right, yep, I've screwed up somewhere. So requirement, we gotta check generic in here because we don't have an ID or anything like that. So what I want to do is I want to do this. Check user generic permissions, close this off. I want to go down here. I want to do check user generic permissions. We don't have, no, I want to undo all that. No, I've screwed up at the permission level. So this is requirement permissions. Yeah, I've screwed up here. So I'm going to get out project permissions. I'm going to put them to the right for stuff. I've never used it before. Makes sense why Sim Griffin's working on a flagging app a few years ago. Yeah, he's still working on it. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. He saw Koala thing AL Postgres. Sorry, I've a bit confused by your last 2 comments. Yeah, I'm just like, what? So what's happening here is I am not checking, actually that should be a yank of 5. I'm actually not checking correctly. So what I've got to do, delete those. I've got to have if length of quags is greater than 0, Shift V to select all of this, pump it up to there, go over here. Then this will be quags, and it'll be requirement ID. So what actually happens is new requirement doesn't actually have a location ID whatsoever. So with this, it'll be like, okay, there's no location ID. We'll just move on to your generic permissions. So that will do that one. And I'm just wondering if the other error has something to do with requirement item. Yes. Yep. So I'm just going to yank those. I'm going to paste those in. Ooh, I've already made a mistake on this one. This should be user group results. And then, so we've got user group results. And then if length of quags is greater than 0, we shift V all of that. We move it up. Sorry, too many typos. I just got a new keyboard. Oh, fair enough. He saw here things are going and made a great product for that. Where things are going and made a great. Oh yes, yeah. One day he'll make a security app called Beanie. So yeah. I do kind of, because I've got enough points now to do the beanie list thing, but I want to create a site where it's just his face with the beanie on and be like, what's under his beanie? And then as you scroll down, the beanie pops off, and then there's like random sort of stuff under there. Like there'll be one with the Lily staring judgmentally, which is this little emoji, probably a shocked Max. Or something like that, something funny. And then present it to him, that website, and then do the channel redeem. So one day. All right, so requirement item, that should work there perfectly fine. We get the requirement item results, we get that, we get that, we get that. That's perfectly fine. I think that's where the second error is coming from. Oh. Alright, we've only got one error now. I've got a few tens of thousands, but have been saving for another transition. Oh, fair enough. I did the rear airplane one. Oh, fair enough. Alright. Ooh, Kanban card. I think this is the same issue. Yeah, yeah. Alright, cool. It only happens, so if length of quags is greater than 0. Yeah, this is only really sorry, I should rephrase this. When it's like a new card or something like that, that's when we skip this section. So that should solve that. Alright, sweet. I'm happy. Let's go git status. We made a lot of changes. So git checkout NearBeach static, because we don't need to deal with any of the static files. Alright, remove NearBeach static, git checkout NearBeach static, git status. Alright. We've got a lock on the template, which we'll get rid of right now. Don't save. Alright, we made a lot of changes tonight. So git add everything, git status. Yeah, cool. Git commit. Refactoring the user permissions and fixing any issues that have been brought up by unit testing. Oop. I can't type. So this is great news. So the permissions were a giant sort of task, and I'm glad that we have finished it. So that just means from this particular point, we're going to throw in more unit tests. And how I've written the unit tests, it's going to be really simple to actually throw in more and more and more and more tests. So yeah, hopefully we will get our code coverage up to 75%, maybe higher if we're lucky. So yeah, in fact, that's one thing I didn't check out. Talking about Circle CI. Let's jump in. Oh, I forgot. Griffin is doing Orderly now. And I own Orderly. That was a startup I was doing before Uber Eats and shit. Oh, fair enough. Should have made bank 10 years ago, yeah. I'm assuming Weekly, Shock, we were using Node, etc. back then. Okay. But we started working in esports and gave up so we could chase our gaming dreams, which is how I started streaming years ago. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Alright, this is still running, but we're looking at the back end sort of stuff. Oop, ah. I am getting tired. I am not throwing the pen correctly. I had invest drooling, but cool. Had the chance to work with